All right, gang, we are here. Welcome to another edition of Webinar Wednesday. It is fantastic to be with everyone here today. We've got a great, fun webinar for you guys. We're going to share some good, useful information with you. If this is your first time joining, welcome. I am Jason there on the left. And as always, we're very lucky to be joined by David Rockland, who is the digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories. Thank you, David, for joining us today.
Hey, everybody. So glad to be back with you for Webinar Wednesday 211. Hope everybody had a very happy Halloween. Yeah, we've got a really great tip of the week this week, showing you some of the new AI tools that the team here has been hard at work on in action in a really practical demo. So yeah, really looking forward to this one.
Definitely. It should be lots of fun. And we'll try to do it as simply and as cleanly and easily as possible for you guys so that everyone can follow along. And as always, you know that the replay will be available to you guys as well. For those of you joining us on YouTube, welcome. We do accept viewers from all channels, YouTube, Facebook, or direct on our website, brilliantdirectories.com/stream. And we always recommend and encourage you to subscribe to our brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube channel. You can just go there, brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube, and hit on that subscribe button. And actually, in these webinars, we always have a Q&A section at the end. But if you'd like us to unmute your microphone, we're now streaming at the bottom of the page on how to do that. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/stream and just type in question in all caps. That lets us know you want to unmute your microphone and ask a question during the Q&A session. And as always, the replay of this video, the webinar will be available in the Brilliant Directories Facebook group. You can head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and join us there. We're also doing something special in November this month. I'll mention it in just the next slide, but it's a great way to see how other Brilliant Directories users are working on their sites. You can ask questions, whether if they're technical about features of the software or strategy related to marketing and how to cultivate and grow your member community. I'm in there myself. It's really productive and fun environment to be in. So we invite everyone to join us there. And yes, we are in the month of November, and a few times a year we do an iPad giveaway, and it's exclusively done in the Brilliant Directories Facebook group. So again, if you're not a member, you can just join us at brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. Probably in the next week and a half or so, we will do the iPad giveaway post. So stay tuned there. All the action will happen in the Facebook group, and all you need to do to participate in the iPad giveaway is comment on the post that we create in that group. It's tons of fun, and yeah, just give us about a week or two, and we should see that post active in the Facebook group. And yes, if you have a Brilliant Directories site, we recommend downloading the free Brilliant Directories app. You can go to your Apple or Google Play Store, search for Brilliant Directories, and download the app. It's a great way to stay connected with your BD site anywhere you go. All right. And we do see some new names and faces out there. If you're new, just say first timer or new here in the comments. It's good to see you. And if you've been here with us for a while, you've already said hello. That's great. But just a little bit about Webinar Wednesday. You know, week after week, the BD team is busy pushing updates into the platform. And big clap and thank you to the BD community. A lot of the updates are from your suggestions and feedback or your interactions with the support team. And we use all those to help improve the platform. So in Webinar Wednesdays, we like to share some of those updates. We're going to do that today that help you take advantage of some of those newer features so you can increase traffic or convert visitors into free or paying members. In this tip of the week that we have, it's going to help you kind of do all of the above: publish and promote content, converting visitors to members or subscribers. So we're going to touch on some of this stuff today. And again, if you have questions, go ahead and ask them now in the comments and throughout the webinar. We'll save them for the Q&A section. So if you have questions about your site or need help with your site or just have questions about the platform in general, we'll try to get to as many questions as we can. So I'll do a couple things now. I'll stop the streaming banner there. I think we all got that. And we don't have any lab updates today. What we wanted to do is dedicate more time today to kind of show you some of the AI builder tools that are now built into the platform and available for everyone. So David, I'll pass things over to you. And then towards the end of this segment, the tip of the week, we'll actually do a live demo on how to set all this good stuff up.
Yeah, that's right. So we've announced a handful of new AI features recently. The two biggest, newest ones would be the AI newsletter creator wizard, as well as the AI web page builder. So on their own, they're independently powerful features available by default in the BD platform. So you don't need an add-on or anything to access them. They're all accessible in your admin area. But we wanted to show how they can actually work together to help bring your website more leads, more visitors, really just make your website overall more productive and help you reach whatever goals you happen to have with your website, hopefully a little bit faster. So we'll be showing one specific example in this demo here, but what we do show, you should easily be able to kind of extrapolate for out to any kind of use case you might have. So we're kind of talking about the AI power combo here with the, like I mentioned, the AI page builder as well as the AI newsletter creator. So in this case, we're going to be using the AI page builder to create a landing page, which has an offer. It will have an email submission form on it as well. So we can capture visitors' emails, follow up with them, market to them at a later date, as well as deliver the deliverable of the offer it is that the landing page is promoting. And we'll create that deliverable, that follow-up email automatically, pretty instantaneously using the AI newsletter creator. So we're going to be using both of those tools together in this demo. So using both of them, again, you can use this for really a variety of use cases, but probably the most common ones would be some sort of lead magnet, which again, we'll demonstrate in a practical application here in just a moment. So any sort of free resources or better optimizing your member sign-up process, your pricing or your join page, the benefits that are communicated on those, as well as any follow-up or welcome emails you might be sending to new members, as well as any special offers, additional member onboarding. The list really goes on. You can utilize these again independently or together, like we'll be showing here.
Definitely. And basically what this all comes down to is helping you collect and capture more email addresses from visitors who are on your site, prospective members who are on your site. So you can capture those email addresses, send them some goodies, and then hopefully you can continue marketing to them and converting them in some other way or fashion.
So just briefly going over the two tools in case you're unfamiliar with them. They are both relatively new. We've done some videos about them on their own, but the AI page builder, that will allow you to instantly create SEO optimized pages from just a single prompt. And there's a couple other options within the AI page builder wizard that you can sort of fine tune, but it basically allows you to generate any sort of web page, well-designed landing pages that include images, sales pages, resource pages. It'll automatically include CTAs, again, images. The layouts, the colors used should coincide with the rest of your website pretty well. And then you can always manually tweak the page thereafter if anything needs to be tweaked. In addition to using the AI page builder to generate brand new web pages, you can also use it to, which we won't be showing in this demo, but you can also use it to optimize your member search result pages as well as your post search result pages. So maybe you have a member category for attorneys on your website. If you want to add a little bit of SEO juice to that search results page where it lists all of the attorneys on your site, you can use the AI page builder tool to add some SEO content directly onto that page and hopefully get it ranking a little bit better.
I was just going to say, I think we will have time to actually show one or two examples of adding and bolstering the SEO of an existing search results page that you have. So you can do exactly that. If you're trying to rank for attorneys in Los Angeles, you can add some good SEO content to those pages with just a few clicks, and that will definitely help with your rankings for that page.
Yeah, that would be great to see that in action. And it's super quick to do. You can really rattle through a dozen or more pages pretty quickly doing that. Secondly, the AI newsletter creator, that similarly to the AI page builder, it allows you to use a prompt along with a couple other options if you want to fine tune anything to instantly generate a ready to send email. It could be a visual email, so one that's designed nicely. Again, it can include images, CTAs, links, all automatically with the AI. You could also use it to generate just a plain text email if it's going to be, some sort of confirmation email or something really simple, really generic. You don't really want to go all out on it. You could also use it just to generate plain text emails. In this case, we'll be using it to generate a really nicely designed deliverable. So in this example, we're going to pretend that we have an interior designer directory. And the goal of this lead funnel that we're going to develop is to help homeowners find trusted interior designers for their next project. So the goal is to use these two AI tools, again, built into BD by default, to instantly create a value-based funnel that has three goals ultimately. Engages visitors with some sort of helpful content. The landing page is going to explain the benefits and hopefully entice the visitor to submit their email to get that deliverable, and then delivers that real value directly to their email. And then within that email, include a CTA to ultimately bring those readers back to our website so that they can actually use the information that we've provided them to help them better hire an interior designer that's listed on our website. So with this funnel, we're kind of hitting both demographics of our website, the customer side, which is in this case the homeowner, as well as the member, who in this case would be the professional interior designer. So we're attracting visitors with this landing page. We're getting their email address to send them the deliverable, the email, and then also in the future we can market to them. And then in that email, we're going to bring them back to our website to hopefully generate some leads for our interior designer members. And it really just takes a few steps. So the workflow here is really just to choose a compelling topic, create the email with the AI newsletter creator, create the basic email submission form, and then use the AI web page builder to build out the landing page. And then that's really it. You could take a few more steps, use the BD help bot to help you generate a post that you can share on Facebook, and then you can boost that post to hopefully get it in front of more people. So we're kind of going to take you through the entire process, start to finish, and it's really going to be surprisingly quick to do that.
Yeah, I think the easiest thing to do is just dive in here. And again, you guys can watch the replay and this can be repurposed for infinite use cases. So I made myself a little cheat sheet here, but what we're going to effectively be doing is kind of making a landing page similar to this. 10 things to know before hiring an interior designer. This is obviously a consumer facing lead magnet. If you don't know what a lead magnet is, it's something that you're going to give your visitors in exchange for their email address. So this is going to be some tips for hiring an interior designer. And the AI is going to kind of fully build out a page like this that shows the benefits of what they're going to get. We can have a little video here, but basically really encouraging them to fill out this form so we could capture their email address. So the first thing to do is actually we totally reverse engineer this thing. So in my mind, I have a topic of 10 things to ask when hiring an interior designer and how to save money. So maybe you have the inkling of an idea for some kind of lead magnet that would be compelling for your visitors. But if you're unsure, you can always use the BD help bot here. And let's actually do that together. Let me just start a new chat. Great. So I'm just going to say I have an interior designer directory and I want a consumer facing lead magnet, something like 10 things to ask. What would be the best title, and use the number 10 in it. So let's get some ideas for the lead magnet title and what the topic is going to be. Then we're going to get into the AI page builder stuff together. Okay, so let's just hit yes. It's asking a clarifying question. And I'm actually okay with that title, actually. It seems pretty good. But let's see what it comes up with. Okay, it's giving us some pushback. Anyways, I'm pretty happy with the title. But the point is, you could use this, just say, give me some ideas. You could use this to brainstorm your idea right here without having to leave the BD admin area. So what we're going to do first is create the email here. 10 money-saving questions every homeowner must ask before hiring an interior designer. Let's go with that. And I'll just save this in the little header here because I'm going to use that a few times. So we can close this now. And what we'll do first is we're going to create the newsletter first that actually delivers those 10 tips to the user. So we're going to go to create newsletter. And what I'll do is I'll just put that as the title of the nickname, and we'll do AI generate and we'll hit continue. Now here in the prompt, we can put whatever we want in the prompt. Calls to action, text to include, whatever we want. In this case, we have some suggested prompts that actually work perfect for this scenario. And this is going to be the lead magnet delivery. So after they give us their email address, we're just going to give them the goods through this email. So this pre-made prompt says this is a lead magnet delivery email, include 10 numbered actionable tips about, and I'm just going to paste this in here. 10 money-saving questions, etc., etc. It says make it scannable with square images and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit continue. And we're creating the email now. I'm going to clone this. I'm going to duplicate this page. And now that we're creating the email newsletter, which we'll check in just a moment, what we want to do is create a form on our site that we're going to put on the actual landing page, the form that's going to collect the email addresses. So we'll just go to Toolbox and Form Manager. This is probably it's pretty easy to do this. So you just go to New Form, and I'll shorten it. I'll just do 10 money-saving questions, and we'll hit Save and Continue. And perfect. So we got a form. And actually in this form, I do want to collect the name and email and phone. I don't need the enter message field. So we can actually we could do two things. We can delete that field, or we can just hide it from the input view. Maybe we want to add it back later. So we just open the little cog here, and on display, we do input view no. And I'll go ahead and save the changes. Perfect. So, and again, maybe you just want to really make it frictionless and just have an email field. You can totally do that as well. Let's check out our newsletter for a second, since now we have our form ready. Perfect. So it's created this newsletter for us, or this email template for us. It's created a nice subject line. Here are the 10 tips. What's included in your fee? How do you help stay on budget? So this is the deliverable. And of course, you can elaborate on this. We can go back and say, be more elaborative if we want. And actually, let's do that together. Let's go back, and I have some of that here. I said include hyper-specific examples so the user feels they got ample information. So I'm just going to put that at the end here, and we'll redo the email. Regenerate email is what I'm doing. So it's going to regenerate a new email. And that's something you can do. The AI is going to spin something up, and maybe it left something out, or you forgot to tell it to include something that's important or pertinent to the email. You can hit the back button and then have it regenerate the newsletter. What we're working on in a phase 2 is after you're happy with a newsletter, if you want to continue editing it without doing a full remake of it, that's going to be called remixing. And we're going to have a feature which allows you to remix your email newsletters and your web pages. So it's added a little bit more substance to each of them. We see now there's like 3 lines or so. Before it was a little lighter. And of course, we can add more to this. But let's just save the changes here. And we now have an email template saved, and it's called this one. So what we'll do is, now that we have the form, we'll do edit form settings back in our form. And when we're here, we go to email notifications, email user after submission, and we're going to choose the email we just selected. So after users fill out this form, they're going to get this email that we just created. So if a user fills out this form, they are going to get this email here. So that part is done for us. Perfect. And for the landing page, we're going to use the quick create, and we're going to use the web page create web page tool. Let me just make sure I have something set up here. For the form, you're going to copy the short code, and let me just see I have something here. Yep, there it is. We're going to share this with you guys, and we're just going to tell it in the create web page form to use this form that we just created, the 10 money saving questions for capture form. So let's go to create web page. And after this, by the way, we'll show you guys how to add SEO content to those search results pages. So let's actually just give this a nickname here, the 10 money landing pages. And we'll hit AI generate and continue. Now, here we have some choices to make. Again, for the web page, we have some suggested prompts here. And for this one, we're going to do a free download offer one because it's an offer. There's nothing to download in this case. It's going to be for the email exchange. But again, you can put whatever you want when you're creating web pages. And this isn't just for creating offer pages. You can make a Teams page. You can create your mission and about page. Just tell it everything that it should know. You can even create resource pages and just tell it to include links to other pages, and it'll make sure to embed those links in its output. So it's really powerful here on the types of things you can do. What we'll do in this case is we'll just do free download offer, and we're creating a landing page offering a free, we'll call it guide for homeowners. And we'll excuse my spelling as always. About, and I'm just going to paste that topic in here, that long one, 10 money saving questions, et cetera, et cetera. And we're saying include what's inside, key benefits, preview, who it's for, et cetera. I'm going to add this part here about the form. I'm going to say include this form shortcode at the top of the page with images and text on the left. I'll fix that there. So I'll just do some line breaks here. We can even extend this lower. So we're actually telling it which form from our database or site we want it to include. And for BD forms in the text editor, you just need to put the short code. And then you have some additional settings here. The page length, we'll do long. The purpose, we'll say promotional. The tone, professional. We'll do friendly. And if we wanted to, like I said, a resource page, we can actually include other internal links that we'd want to include on this page. And that's what's really powerful for the SEO part of this, is you can create a nice neural network of pages you want, like a SEO page you're creating to link to internally. So let's just hit continue. Now for these pages, it usually takes about 15 to 30 seconds to create. And while this is cooking up, this is one we did earlier, just before the webinar, to make sure we had everything set up for you guys correctly. So this is the type of landing page it's going to create for us. And after this is ready, the landing page is ready, we're going to make a couple small tweaks because we're the website owner and we have the power to do all those things. But let's just let this cook up here. And again, if you have questions about this stuff, put them in the comments. We're going to take as many questions as we can. And we did this early, so we have plenty of time for the Q&A. So yeah, we'll just give this a few more seconds and hopefully it doesn't get hung up on anything and we have a smooth flow here. And also one of my favorite things is when it creates these web pages, whether it's one of these visual pages here, and here we see that it added that short code there with some text and the images here. We might want to move some of this stuff around. We can scroll down. It's added some benefits here. There's a kind of like a quote here. There's a video if we want to include it or remove it or replace it with an image, and some other things. Who should download this guide? First-time homeowners, busy professionals, et cetera, et cetera. We'll just accept everything that it's created. Obviously, it's given us a ton of content here. So let's save and continue. Okay, perfect. So now the landing page is created. Let's take a look at it together. Okay, perfect. So there are some things here that I'm going to want to edit. So one, has created a beautiful hero section, but we're going to improve that even further. It says free guide, the title of it. And if we scroll down, we can see the form is here and the image is here. And actually, I'm going to want to move some things around myself. But the web page is created. 95% of the work is already done for us. And of course, all these images and text and links, we can add, remove, or edit further if we want to. So let's do some edits, actually, because there are some things that I want to change here. Let's go to continue editing here.
And one thing I would add is, even if you are totally happy with the text that the AI wizard generates, the images could probably be improved. Some of them might be good enough, but high quality, relevant images will really make a huge addition to the page. It'll really make it feel a lot more professional. So if you have the time and some of the images can't afford to be replaced, you should definitely do that. I would recommend doing that, just using the built-in stock photos that will show.
Yeah, and we'll do that together. And that's a great point. Let's actually start with the hero section. So with the page builder right now, it's just going to use a default image as the hero image. but we have control, and we can easily swap that out real quick. Let's just go to replace image, go to stock images, and we'll search for happy interior designer, something I searched for before, and we'll hit search photos. And again, if you guys aren't familiar with this, you guys have access to millions of free stock photos here. So this is amazing. We'll just give it a second to load. It looks like my connection is going a little slower here, and that's what happens on the webinars. But it is pulling these images here. Okay, great. Let's choose one that comes up. Here's a good one right here. Happy holding a Pantone booklet. Let's download that. Okay, perfect. That image is added. And we'll do two things, actually. We'll use it as the hero image. And if we go to SEO settings here, this is a little higher level, but you guys will like this. You can actually choose what image is shared for social media on this page. So we'll actually choose that exact same image. So when this gets shared on Facebook or Twitter or X or whatever, it'll use this image that we've selected here. Another thing I noticed is we have this nice big title here, but it's doing like a double title. So I'm just going to remove this extra title that it added. I'm just going to remove this row here. And another thing is I don't really like how the form is here with text under it. I'm just going to put the form on the right-hand side and get rid of this image here. So I'll just delete that there, delete this image, and paste the form here. And I think that should do it. I'll just make sure this is aligned left. And then another tip is, if you guys don't know this about the text editor in BD, you can see here that's doing kind of like the columns here with left and right. You can actually put something in a content box, and you'll see what that looks like now. Let's save the changes. So the way to do that is go to the cell styling and select content box design. And this cell will then look like one of your content boxes. So let's save that, and we'll do a before and after. I'll duplicate this. And what we did is we changed the hero section. So that actually looks great. Interior designer holding a Pantone booklet back there. We can see this is the content box design here. It puts this little framing on it, and it matches the rest of your site. And then we see the text here on the left. What I'll do is I'll just kind of even this out a bit more. And one more thing, just for my own OCD, I'm going to add an image right here. I just feel like an image should go there. So we'll just, again, use the stock photos, and we'll just do home design as the what we're searching. And we'll see what comes up here. This is definitely going a little slower probably because of all the video, the sharing, but let's just do this picture here. And that should go right in there. And did it go to the bottom? Nope. Yeah, it went to the bottom when it shouldn't. That's okay. Let's just move it up here. Okay, right back up. Oops, it didn't cut it. All right, let's just leave it as it is. I'm getting a little too involved, getting too excited there, but let's save the changes. And I think we should have a better balanced page here. Now, again, what we did is we created the newsletter, we created the form, and we created the landing page. So now when we fill out this form, let me go to a private window here and go to this page like a regular user would be. We can come here and let's actually fill this out together. Events at brilliantdirectories.com. And let's actually receive this email together. And let's see what was delivered. So it says your message has been sent. Great. And I do have an inbox here. This is a previous one that I got. Let's wait for this one to come in. All right. This one isn't it, but this is the previous one that I was testing before, where we got the deliverable here. Let's see if we can get the email. I'm doing a forwarding to this Gmail here for this webinar.
I think that email actually was it. I think it just got added to the thread with the same
Okay.
subject line.
Got it. Oh yeah, 0 minutes ago. You're absolutely right. So, okay, perfect. So it says unlock smarter design. Here we go. So that's perfect. And yeah, here's the email. So they got what they wanted. I think this was I selected in the form the previous one from our test. But point being is you filled out the form, and the person instantly got the benefit, right? So now we have their email address. We've given them some good deliverables. They're warm and fuzzy. And even at the bottom of the email, we can give them more calls to action. If you're a directory of professionals, you can link to your get matched page, like let us match you with a designer now, and have them put their scope of their project in. And that's a lead you can sell with your lead matching website to the professionals in your network. So in case you didn't know it, Brilliant Directory started as a lead distribution network where the professionals were in the database. We would use Google pay-per-click to get consumers who were looking for interior designers and other types of professionals. And those leads that we captured were sold to the designers as leads, at nominal pricing that made sense for the market. And that is the number one feature that I think is overlooked in BD, but it was the first reason BD was put together as a directory software, was for that lead distribution network for matching the consumers with the professionals. Let me take this 2 steps further because I was having fun with this. And yes, we have the landing page now, this one here. So we can actually link this in our main menu, in our footer. But I thought it would be fun to ask Gemini to kind of make like a banner ad for this. So I did one earlier, but let's do this one. Do another one for this lead magnet. And I'm going to say use photo realistic of happy people in it. Excuse the spelling. That makes sense for the banner ad. So let's actually get a banner ad from Gemini real quick, and let's actually put it in the sidebar of our search results page and link it to this landing page that we just created. So not only did we create the asset, and again, it's going to be hit or miss. You can probably do this better in Canva or something else, but let's just download this image here. Okay, perfect. That's a huge size, 1 megabyte. We're going to want to shrink that down, but just for the sake of the webinar, I'm not going to go through all those steps. So what we can do is we can go to the design settings now. And again, if we're going quick, you guys will have access to the replay. We just want to make sure we cover as much as possible here for you. So when you're in the design settings, you can go to banner ads and you can turn them on. And for the sidebar, we will upload the image we just downloaded from Gemini. So we'll upload this image. Perfect. And we have a link to our page, which is here. So let's go back and select this image. And what we're going to do is use image banner ad. There's 3 options with the banner ad options: disable it, the placement, or use custom embed code, which is where you would put your AdSense code or Ad Butler. But we're going to use an actual image, and we're going to say this is the link. So if anyone clicks on this image, they will go to this link, and we'll just save the changes. And now we have a banner ad on our site. If we go to member directory. Perfect. And here's the ad right here. I think this could look a little bit better. The text is small, but if you click on this, it takes you to the page. So we've now come full circle with actually placing a banner ad on the sidebar of the page. And again, this is to help. 1, it helps the site look more professional, in my opinion. 2, we could probably ask Gemini to change the, instead of download now, there's nothing to download. It could just say get it now. But again, these are details that you can work with the AI to work out. We brought them to the landing page. Here's the form. There's all these details here. And effectively, we're done. And as David mentioned for the use cases, let me go back here. I think you were mentioning this somewhere else here. Yeah, the use cases are infinite. They could be for the consumer side. They could be for the professionals. 10 ways lawyers can get more leads from online visibility. And it's a packet for them to bolster their online visibility. And maybe number 3 is joining your directory. And you've captured their email address. Let's take it 1 step further and put a bow on this. Real nice is now that we've collected the email address and we've delivered them the asset, the lead magnet asset, what we can do is we can actually see which people are filling out these forms in our forms inbox. So not only did you create the form, but here we can see Events at Brilliant Directories has been filling out this form on these landing pages. And you can also filter by form. So here's the form name, visitor lead email, and what have you. So let's see. Yep, there we go. Let's just search for this in the keyword. Perfect. So the origin page, right, where it was filled out was here, or the form. I think, let's see here what we called the form. Well, I think it was just the visitor lead magnet. So we'll just do that. Here it is. So now we can see, let me get rid of this. Perfect. So we can see here that this, I see where I messed up, David. When I did the prompt, I used the form shortcode that I saved in the notepad, not from the form that we created on the fly. But the same context works, the same thing works. So we can see here that 10 people have filled out this form. Now, what we can do is actually create a smart list of people who filled out this form. So 10 questions to ask designers. And now, and this is a dynamic form. So as more people fill this out, that smart list will continue to populate with more people who fill out this form. And we can see the smart list here. We could just do newest first here. 10 questions to ask interior designers. 10 people have filled out this form, and now we can remarket to these people at a later time period. We already know who they are. We've segmented them as people who filled out that form. We could even segment like which page was filled out. So if we have the same form on different pages, we can create different segments. We just have to do the filtering on the form's inbox page, and whatever filters you set, whether it's submissions for members or non-members, the date that the submission happened, any keywords or a piece of the origin page, you can create those smart lists based on these segments. So not only do you get the funnel, the lead magnet, the landing page, you also get the data, which is the most important thing, of all the valuable emails you've collected with your landing page and lead magnet combo. David, anything to add here? Because I know I say a lot and I say it real fast.
I love it. I think that all really took it full circle. I do think it's important just to reinforce. So the workflow itself is incredibly simple. It's just 3 steps: creating the form, creating the email, creating the landing page.
Right.
But there are those 2 little mini steps regarding the form that we don't want to forget. So after we create the email, we want to go back to the form and make sure that when that form is submitted, the submitter receives that new email template that we created. And then we also want to take the form's short code and give that to the AI wizard when we're building the landing page, so that we can make sure that the wizard includes that submission form on the landing page. So those 2 kind of mini steps we kind of went through pretty quick, but those are probably the 2 most important steps actually in this process.
Correct. And we did do that in this. So you guys just need to remember to do that. Let me just touch on that again real quickly. In the form manager, if you need the form shortcode, let's just edit this one real quick. Well, you can get it from the actions link there. There's a link there. But if you come to edit the form, click on copy shortcode. I'll just paste it in here. It does copy the shortcode there. And in the page generator, just tell it to use the form shortcode. You might want to explicitly say, place it in its own cell on the right with some text and images in the left, so you don't have to move it like I did. And then also in the edit form settings, you're going to want to, in the email notifications, select the email newsletter that you created with the AI email newsletter generator. And that will ensure that when people fill out that form, that this email is sent to them directly. So you don't have to fuss with PDFs. I think this is incredibly valuable for that, instead of having PDF as attachments or messing with the files, because it makes everything instant. Bonus step, if you wanted to. Right now, when they filled out the form, it just showed a thank you message. If you wanted to take it a step further, under the submission settings for the form, when the people fill out the form, you can actually redirect them to another page. So if you create a thank you page, which carries the torch from when they filled out the form, and on the next page, it tells them to check their email. It thanks them for filling it out. And then also other ways to continue keeping in touch with your company, like joining your Facebook group or your socials. Or like I said, if you're a lead matching site, encouraging them to just go ahead and get matched with a designer, and they can continue filling out the get matched form. And again, that's going to be leads that you can resell to members, the professional members in your directory. So really easy point and click settings. And the final bow that we'll put on this one is just asking the BD help bot to create a social media post for the new landing page that we created. Let's do that together. create a Facebook post with lots of emojis for this guide, and say include the link to the web page. And we'll just take this link. I still have it here. Yep. And we'll come back here. And I think it's going to ask me a confirmation question. I'll just hit yes. And this is going to create the social post for us as well. So we can just wait for this and say yes. And now we've added the banner to the sidebar. We're going to promote it on socials if we want to. And that is really good to do. So it's asking the more qualifying questions. One, we want to promotional posts to attract homeowners ready to hire designers. Yes. Or an educational post. So he's asking a lot of questions, wants to be super helpful. So here's our post here. And let's see. Yep. It even did with hashtags and all this good stuff. We'll just come back to Facebook and we'll just, for example, just post. I'm not going to post this to the group, but here, this is it here. And we have a social post. You can pare it down if you need to. You can modify it. But in just a few seconds, we can actually start promoting this as well. And actually, side note, someone asked in the Facebook group, I have my directory website. Should I only create a Facebook group or like a Facebook company page as well? And my answer for that was you should do both, because the Facebook group is for actual interaction with participants of your directory, where people can ask questions and post comments and they can talk to each other. But if you go to your Facebook page, you can do posts just like I was suggesting, and you can actually boost them, and you can actually, spend $5 or $10 and actually boost them to your audience or whoever else, remarketing audiences and other tools. So that's really the difference of the company page and the group. The company page, you can do posts and use it as a recruiting tool for outreach and brand visibility. And of course, boosting the post so you can reach those extended audiences who aren't already part of your Facebook group, which is almost like a private home for your community, where you can have those personal interactions where people ask questions and start discussions. All right, so that was a mouthful, but let's do this. Let's switch it over to you guys for questions and answers. And if you have questions, type them into the comments. If you want us to recap anything, we can do that. If you have questions about your own site, we can do that too. But let's see here. Neil made a comment from App Crazy. Make sure that your lead magnets are highly valuable. This is great because what ChatGPT and other AI bots is, you can give them a topic and ask them to make it clickbaity. And what they're going to do is they're going to give you more compelling topics or titles that will garner the most interest from people and potentially help with conversion. So I know clickbait is a 4-letter word, but you can actually use it to help brainstorm ideas of what would be good titles or topics for your lead magnets. So good point there. You don't want anything cheap or low value, because it's just not going to gain people's interest. So you want to make sure you're using vocabulary and terms that connect and resonate with whoever the target audience is that you want your lead magnet to connect with. So just be mindful of those things when you're creating your lead magnet.
And we do have a great question from Don. Nice segue into the Q&A here. He was asking if we can put HTML code on the page that the AI wizard generates.
This is a great question. And yeah, the answer is yes. Let's do that together real quick. If you're comfortable with HTML, you can certainly do that. I'm more comfortable with HTML. But let's just look at the pages we just created. Just a moment. Here it is. So what you can do with any of the pages in the web page builder is, of course, you have your view here, the visual view, we'll call it. But you can click on these brackets here, code view, and you can paste, you can edit anything you want here, which is great. Now, we can always take things a step further. As we say, there's more than one way to skin a cat, if that's the saying here. So if you wanted to go even more advanced than just editing HTML here, Don, and what I'm sometimes even more comfortable with is whatever your HTML is, just post it into a widget. And also, let me mention here, if you wanted a custom CSS here, go to the advanced tab and you can put CSS level code just for this page level head tags, and footer JavaScript all here. But if you wanted to take it a step further, you could create a new widget and pop your code in there, all the HTML code, and we'll just call this 10 ways as a widget. And we'll copy the widget shortcode Just like we have form shortcode, we have widget shortcode, and we can just use that here as the page content in the editor. We'll hit save changes and we should see the exact same page loaded here via the widget shortcode rather than the visual text editor. What I'll do is I'll just clone this page, duplicate it. And this is what it was before with the form and all this stuff. And if we come here, we see the form, it's exactly the same. So if you're comfortable, and you can do a lot more here, because in here you can use PHP, and you can do more higher level stuff when you're rendering it from the widget. The text editor, the visual editor is just safe HTML elements that are allowed there. So if you really want to go wild and you're a developer, you can use the widget method with the shortcode, or you could use the HTML parts of the page builder here. I'll just put this back in here. So good question there, Don. All right, and we'll save that. All right, we got another question here. Anthony's asking, what is a good price point for a designer to help design and clean up the directory? So depends where the designer is located. Obviously, there are some areas where designers might be more expensive just because of their region. Could be the US or the UK. And if you go on the other side to the Philippines and India and whatnot, you probably get better rates. But the second thing you want to do is, I think the most important thing when you're hiring a designer is communication and obviously their qualification and knowing what their wheelhouse and their skill set is. Just a pro tip, if you're going to work with any third party, whether it's a designer or a developer, I always like to start with a smaller scope project and see if you can get a win from them with that. And with the smaller scope project, you're setting yourself up for a win because the deliverables are going to be cut and dry. It's not a black hole of development that you might go down with them with a 26-page PDF on your spec. So find someone that you communicate well with, can deliver on time. And I think that really is the most important thing, is start with a smaller scope project and see if they can even do that successfully for you. And if you're happy with their work, the budget will be less. So even if, everything falls apart, you won't be out too much, or the consequences, there'll be a slap on the wrist versus slapping yourself in the face. So that's the best advice I have for that one. Good question there. All right, David's asking, this looks like great content. Is there an easy way to create a chat discussion forum platform within our BD website? So this is a good question, and probably not 100%, but you can get 80% to a discussion forum with Brilliant Directories. I could show you an example of how that works right here on our demo site. And I'll share this link, groups.demobootstrap.com. All BD sites have these features. This one just kind of focuses more on it. Let me put this in the chat here for everyone. So your BD site obviously comes with a blogging functionality. So you as the website owner have a dedicated content channel for blogs. And if you want to give your members the privilege to also publish articles or blog type content, those are called community articles. So it keeps your company blog separate from the articles your members create. So you have that functionality, and all BD sites also have the discussion, which is effectively like the blog, just minus the feature image, in my opinion, but it does get you a good starting point. And with all of these post types, community news, the discussion board, if you click into these are all effectively posts, right? We just call them different things, and it helps you organize your content into different content channels. That not only helps you stay organized, it actually helps with SEO, in my opinion, because you have dedicated content channels for different types of content. So here's an example of a discussion post by this person. And what you're looking for in a community forum is the ability to leave comments, so somewhat sort of like a Reddit. And what's really nice about BDs is people can leave comments and then reply to each other's comments. So you can get really deep here, and you can have nested comments, and even better, is you can choose to get notified for comments or not get notified. Maybe you don't want to get bothered with them. So for any post, you can choose to get notified by email for any new comments, or if you want to tone it down a bit, just only replies to your own comments, so you know whether you should react or not. So I'll just share this link as well directly to here. But your BD site has it. If you go to your BD site /discussions, that page exists, that post type exists. So you just have to assign it to the different members or membership plans that have the ability to create or start discussion posts. And if you're a public or private site. Just decide who has the ability to view discussion posts. What I've seen is sometimes sites have public posts and they have private posts where only certain membership plans or members have the ability to view that walled content, that gated content. So you can do both with Brilliant Directories and have two different types of channels on your site at the same time. All right, good questions here. And Elliot's asking a similar question to what Don, can we use HTML as an element? Yeah, you can. As mentioned in the text editor or in the widget method, you can put your HTML in a widget and render it as shortcode on a web page, or you can just put your HTML directly in the code view of the text editor. All right, good stuff there. And let's see here if we got any more questions here. We got one right here. Can you share this form to an external website to receive links from that also back into BD? Okay, so this is a really good question, and I do have a video on it. So if you're using third-party forms like Jotform or Typeform or wherever, Zoho Form, you can actually send those submissions into your BD site, and you can choose if you want it to create a lead that then you sell to your members. So it enters like your lead workflow, or it just gets sent to your forms inbox. Let me share with you some easy videos that you guys can follow, and you can do it with the API directly, but with tools like Zapier, let me just search for Zapier here in our blog. Actually, let me search for Typeform. I know we made a video here. Here we go. Typeform, Zapier, Pabbly, Webhook. So this is perfect. So this is how you can use a third party. And you can watch this video. It's about 5 minutes long. But it basically shows you how to use a third party form provider. You can embed it on your BD site, or it can live on other websites out in the World Wide Web. And it can all funnel the submissions into your BD database. So super highly valuable. And actually very, very recommended. And not to be missed is our new WordPress plugin that we released this year. Let me just share this. Forms. Let me just do a Google search. Here we go. If you have a WordPress site, you're probably using one of 3 or 4 different types of forms plugins. And with this plugin, the Sync Forms with Brilliant Directories, if you're using, and let me get the list here, Contact Form 7, WP Forms, Ninja Forms, and also actually Gravity Forms is now supported. If you're using any of these WordPress forms, you can actually send those submissions into your Brilliant Directories database. So you can use your WordPress site as a lead capture mechanism to send those submissions to your BD site seamlessly with this plugin. So let me share this also in the chat here. And we've seen a lot of people using it. And not only is their BD site generating leads from their BD forms, but they've now extended it out further to subsites that they've created in their network to funnel leads to their BD site. Good question there. And we'll just keep it going. They're coming in good. All right. Luis and Renata are asking, can a member have notifications when a specific business makes a post? Okay, this is a good question, and we can meet you halfway there actually with something that's built in with BD without any customization. We do have an add-on called the personal post feed. Let me share that and what that does. And what this allows, here we go. What this allows your members to do, and I'll share this in the comments for everyone. And what the personal post feed add-on does, there's also a video here, is it allows your members to like or follow a specific business or a specific member. And then there's a dedicated page that only they have access to that is the curated list of all the new posts of the businesses they're following. So effectively, it's a page where they can choose to only see posts from people that they're following on your site. So I don't think the email notification is part of this for every single new post that every single business you're following publishes. However, you can encourage them to visit this page to keep up with all the new posts from the businesses that they like or follow on your site. So again, it doesn't get you 100% there, but it should get you close enough to a starting point. All right, let's see here. We got a few more good questions here. All right. By the way, guys, love the questions. So keep them coming. We got a few more minutes left on the webinar. If you need assistance with your site, if you're stuck, you can also ask a how-to question. But these are great strategy questions that we're getting right now. So Anthony's asking again, I saw a site where someone had an area that said the highest offer is, can we create something like an auction or offer type of interface? Please excuse the wording. So BD's not necessarily like an eBay platform where there's auction happening. That would almost be like its own platform, different type of platform, an auction solution, or an eBay clone if you Googled eBay clone. So I'm not familiar. They must have done something custom on their site. Of course, with BD, you have a developer really does have access to their entire database and the code as we just showed you. So this, I don't have an answer. There's no default setting for this, but with a customization, sure. But if you don't want to put a square peg in a round hole, you might want to just search for something like an eBay clone in this case. All right, we got a few more questions here. Okay, Kaplan Media Group, you're asking the best question here, how to turn a search page into a static page, or how to lump a bunch of members into a subcategory to turn it into a static page. Let's talk about, we promised we would, but we didn't, adding SEO content to bolster a search results page, an existing search results page that you have on your site. And let's use our example here of this California business directory. Let's actually go here to a member's profile page real quick. And if we scroll down and we see this banner here is now following us, that's great. Let's look at in Quebec. Let's see what's here. Okay, so let me see here. This person, I think we deleted the category type, but let's actually look. Okay, that's perfect, actually. Let's look for people in Quebec, Canada, actually. And we should have some results here. So there's 22 results of people in Canada, Quebec. Let's actually just do Quebec and see what comes up if we get the same results. Perfect. So we have this page. I know it's a California business directory, but let's say we have some members in Quebec here, and we do have them here. So this is a page. These search results pages are dynamically created. They are real pages. They rank in Google. What we want is to kind of add additional content to this page, because right now the only content for Google to read is exactly this. The title here, California Business Directory, which is the name of the business, the website, and then Quebec. So that's not the strongest. And then the content on this page are the listings, which is great. But let's add more to this. So what we can do, the easiest thing is when you have the admin bar on the front end of your site, because you visit the website as the admin, go to a search page and click on Add Custom Content. And what it's going to do, it's going to pre-fill everything in the web page settings for you. So the content for Quebec, it's a member search results page, and AI generate. So what we can do is this suggested prompts, which are really cool, and we might add some more of these. Right now, there's no category. We'll just do location only. And let me get my spelling right. So write SEO content for a Quebec, Canada. I'll just put Canada. Search results page, describe what types of, and I put our website name here, or the category, but we'll just do Quebec, Canada businesses. And services operate in the area, what makes the location notable, et cetera, et cetera. Let's hit continue. And all we have to do is take a few sips of our coffee or whatever we have in front of us and wait about 10 seconds for the SEO content to be created. And what really happens is magical, because it's not just the content it creates. We're going to show you two more things that it does that is just absolutely blows my mind, actually, how well it does this. So let's just give this a moment to create. Okay, it's done. So one, it's created a new title for the page, Quebec, Canada business listings and service providers, much better than what it was before. Explore Quebec's diverse range of local businesses and services. And it's created a beautiful body of content here. And there's a few things that we're going to do. One is we've really tuned it so when it creates this SEO content, that the levels of AI detection are minimal. And if you're using any AI detection tools, actually anything 80% or below is actually hitting the mark in a positive way, because it really is unsure, even though that seems like a high number. What we don't like is when it's like 95%. So let me actually go to this AI detection tool, and let's actually just do a Pepsi challenge test here together. And let's paste this in and cross our fingers because we're on the webinar. We always want to see good results. So we see 36% of text is likely AI, and that actually just means it's not sure about it. So that is awesome to see that. The other thing that I like to do is I go to Gemini and I say, is this good or bad SEO content? Did we keyword stuff too much? And I'll just paste it here. And that's just the raw text from the text editor. I'd say this content is mostly good with a minor risk of appearing keyword stuffy depending on the target keyword. So it's provided some tips here. And again, you can do this. And if you want, you can go and correct these things yourself. Normally, when I've done this, it said it's excellent. I ask it the same questions. It's not my first time doing this. But this is the first time it's kind of making some recommendations, which is great. It's saying that the phrase Quebec appears 24 times. It's close to the line, but probably safe. I wouldn't call it disastrous. So if we wanted to, we could do this. We can always go back, and what really helps is if you add keywords to target here. There's 3 input fields here. And what I've learned is when you take advantage of these 3 keyword input fields, it really helps create a diverse body of content. And it uses keyword variations, synonyms to what you're targeting. And that really helps with what we just saw, which is the keyword stuff test that I put in Gemini. So what we can do here, and I really recommend everyone use the word best in your keyword targets, in your H1s, because when people Google, they're searching for best XYZ. So that's a really good keyword to have. So best Quebec local businesses. We can do find Quebec businesses, right? Use the word local or businesses. If I spelled that right. And then we can also say Quebec business directory. So now we not only have our main prompt here, which really I just changed the location here. That was it. And we've added some target keywords here. Good ones. Best Quebec local businesses, find Quebec businesses, Quebec business directory. Let's regenerate and let's put it back into Google and see what it says about the content. And by the way, if I just hit continue, which I'm going to do after this stage, it will then add that content to this search results page, which we'll do on this next step here. So again, Kaplan Media Group asked this question, how to turn a search into a static page. I'm going to show you 2 other ways that you can do this. So here's the new body of content. It's actually included some internal linking too, which is great, to some official Chamber of Commerce and things like that. It just adds to the authority of the page, and Google likes that. So let's paste this in here and see what this is another piece of content. And the question is the same. Is this good or bad? The short answer is the second piece is better than the first, but it still flirts with keyword stuffing. So again, it's giving us some good feedback. And actually seeing this, I'm going to work to improve the outputs on the site. This is the first time it's actually giving us this kind of feedback. But that's one thing we're always going to work on, is improving the outputs for you guys. And we'll just say, what keywords will this rank for? And it's going to kind of tell us.
And if you can do this on business categories, if you happen to have categories set up for your business members, they'll get even more specific, probably a little bit more useful SEO content, because it'll be more specific, more niche focused than just general, all sorts of businesses.
Absolutely. So let's actually review what it's done for us. One, it's created a beautiful hero section with an H1, a main title, a subtitle, and subtext before the results. So this is actually wonderful. Right off the bat, at the highest viewport of the page, we have all the good keywords that we want to rank for. So that's number one. We can always change the hero background image, as you guys saw before. And if we scroll down, we see the body of content here. It creates like a nice wiki page of content that follows the search results page. So we're not inhibiting or encumbering the visitor experience by putting the text at the top. If it was maybe a smaller blurb of text, we could, but that's exactly why this text exists here. Number 2, so the front end is taken care of. Number 2, if we go to continue editing the page, one of my favorite things, and I think it does it exceptionally well, are the page meta titles, descriptions, and keywords. are beautifully written by this tool. So we see best Quebec local businesses. Fine. It actually used the 3 keywords I wanted into the meta title. And if we do this, 10x, if you set a schedule for yourself, I'm going to do this 1 hour on my site, once a week, which is plenty of time because it just takes, 20 seconds to do this for each page or even faster. You're going to see over time traffic increase and more people coming, and your ranking positions increase for these locations, these categories or location category search results pages that you have. And I heard a lot of people say, oh, meta keywords are dead and things like that. I do agree with you. With Google, they say that they don't read meta keywords. However, there are other search engines or other tools, or we don't even know how AI is reading this stuff for AI SEO. So just as good measure, the meta keywords are included in there, just on the chance that they do tick the needle a bit for the SEO. And actually, let's just have one more bit of fun with this. Let's update that hero image again, encouraging you guys to take that extra step. We'll actually put Quebec as the term to search for here. And let's see if we can get anything in Quebec. Canada, we might get some good city pictures here. And again, yeah, this is going slow. I think it is my connection here today, but let's see what we can get. It's just trying to render these very slowly. Again, it's normally instantaneous. And if we just take a deep breath together and exhale, the images should load. Okay, great. This looks good. Looks like a city here. Still trying to fetch the image. I'm going to assume that's the city of Quebec. We'll download it and we'll use that as the hero image. Perfect. And let's take a look at that. And we'll take it one step further. If you're doing this to your search results pages, boom, that looks awesome right there. That looks like hyper professional. Let's take it one step further. You have done the extra work of adding the custom SEO content to an existing static page. Let's actually turn it into a lead magnet too. With the hero section, if you scroll down, and I've showed this in the Facebook video, you can actually put a button link. So we can send people to the join page or directly to a sign up page. We could say, are you a Quebec business? Get listed today. So not only, and we'll do this, get listed today. This is at the bottom of the hero section tab. We'll do an extra large button. We'll do it in red and we'll save the changes. And we'll refresh this. And what I love about this, maybe we go a little smaller to the button. All right, we'll do a large button instead of an extra large button. What I love about this is it's classy. It's not, we're not going overboard with this. It's still consumer facing because it is the search results page for our Quebec, Canada business directory section of this site. These are all the Quebec businesses, but we've neatly nested a call to action, which again can help recruit new prospective members if they are, in fact, in this case, a Quebec business or an attorney or a Los Angeles attorney, whatever the drill down is for that search results page. You can now sleep well at night knowing that you have all the elements in place to both serve the consumer side of your market and the professionals who you are asking to join. And let's just look at a before and after of this page's header. Now it's this page, and before it was just this page, which isn't bad. But if it's, the first, if it's a popular page that you're trying to kind of bolster a bit, adding the SEO content will help. And the visual element of the user experience on the site is also amplified a bit doing this. I'll show one more thing because now we are actually getting close to the time here. But not only can you add content, and you can do the same thing for your categories, locations, or location categories, but you can actually also do this for your post pages. So let's go to create web page from the quick create dropdown here. And let's actually do a post search results page. Let's do I don't know what's on this site. Let's do coupons. And we can do a category. Oh, I've already done all those tests. Let's do classifieds. Here we go. So you can do classifieds category 2 or whatever. You probably have a real category name like jewelry or something like that. Let's use that as an example. But for your post search results pages, you can do the exact same thing. So if you have a jobs board or coupons and deals or property listings for the search results page, you can kind of bolster that a bit as well. Let's do the same thing here. We'll search from the suggested prompts, the post search results post type. So we'll do classifieds jewelry category. We'll just pretend it was that. And again, you can add some additional keywords like jewelry, fine jewelry, jewelry marketplace, things like that, or whatever makes sense, just jewelry marketplace. And we'll just hit continue. So let's actually do this. We'll take a look at it. We'll see if there's any more final questions we can get to. And this is going to be an exciting month because we have some more updates coming down. The remix tool is going to be great. So you're not just creating with AI from the start, but you can actually remix existing content and emails that you've created. All right, so let's give this another second here. All right, here's the content that was created. And we'll do save and this. And the page was created. So now if we go to our classifieds page, category 2, we see, let's assume this was the jewelry category. There are no listings on this page, but we're already giving it a head start to start seeding with search engines here. We've added some good content here and some users searching for jewelry marketplace options in California, et cetera, et cetera. So you can do this for post types. You can do it for member search results pages. So good stuff there. All right, we'll end it there, guys. Appreciate you guys for sticking with us. This was an amazing webinar. Thank you, David, for putting together these slides here. And it was a great topic. The replay will be available on the Brilliant Directories Facebook page. So you can head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. The next webinar will be in 2 weeks. We do webinars twice a month, unless we're lucky to get 3 landed in the same month. For those of you that joined us on YouTube, it's been fun, and thank you so much for your questions. On behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, it's been a wild ride. It's been tons of fun. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day and a brilliant week. Cheers.